Acting is so underrated in horror movies. Honestly, I always say, if they don't look scared, why should I be? And the fact is, there have been many amazing performances in horror movies over the years. So let's talk about them. The best horror acting of the 21st century. Subscribe to support the channel, and throw in your own picks in the comments below. 2000, Willem Dafoe, Shadow of a Vampire. When coming up with this list, I actually put it together with people in chat during my live stream. So if you want to be part of future videos, check out my Discord or community tab for updates on when I'll be live. Anywho, the one rule of this video is that the movie has to be horror. That's why Christian Bale's American Psycho isn't here, even though he beautifully delivers the best breakup line in film history.
Sorry, you're not terribly important to me.
Acting as an actual monster gives Willem Dafoe a lot of free rein to experiment, and experiment he does. Hand gestures, expressions, eye contact, body language. It's playful, but not in a way that makes you see the actor under the makeup. Dafoe created a fully realized character here, with broad and subtle acting choices. And really, it's the little things, the consistencies that make someone feel real. If he had gone all big and loud and evil the whole time, it may as well be Bowser. It's a great job by a great actor. 2001, Nicole Kidman, The Others. A good ghost story creates mystery, makes you ask questions, like, why is this place being haunted? Can we trust the main character? If the YouTube algorithm were a person, how many YouTubers would, you know? But in order to ask any questions, we have to be invested in the plot, and while The Others has a perfectly decent story, it's Nicole Kidman's performance that does the heavy lifting. I never doubted her fear, confusion, or desire for answers. She reacts in realistic ways, and as stylish as the movie can be at points, I always felt like I was watching a real person go through this process. Our allegiance to her character is critical for the climax, so frankly, this movie wouldn't work without her. 2002, Angela Bettis, May. May isn't for everyone, but I've been recommending it to everyone because it has everything, and everything in it is done very well. Drama, gore, character study, tragedy, a little bit of comedy, and what keeps it all together is the incredible performance by Angela Bettis. Her character is a freak, not in a quirky, clickbait, tee-hee sort of way, but actually a bit deranged. And yet, she still garners a lot of our sympathy, and a big part of that is the actress's portrayal of loneliness and fragile hope. Watching her desperate phone call to a crush is painful to watch, and later on, as she overhears him mocking her, it's like watching someone's heart shatter in real time. The ending is such a gut punch. At every turn, the film asks a lot from this actress, and she always delivers.
Something happen?
Touch me. Touch my face.
2003, Im Soo-jung, A Tale of Two Sisters. It's regarded as one of the best South Korean horror movies, and I think the main reason are the performances. From the vulnerable younger sister to the cold stepmother, everyone's putting in the work. Im Soo-jung as the older sister is the lead, and thus carries a lot of the weight. See, A Tale of Two Sisters is equally dedicated to its drama and its horror. And sure, lots of horror dramas aim for this as well, but this actress brings the emotions to a whole other level. You feel her frustration and fury at the stepmother, so much so that halfway through, you just want to punch her. And during a scene with a ghost, I was as paralyzed with fear as she was. 2004, Ananda Everham, Shudder. I probably butchered that pronunciation. It's a terrifying movie with extensive focus on photography that understands more than any movie I've seen how to do jump scares well. The lead actor looks so petrified during certain sequences that he makes them scarier. And it's not just in the moment, but the lead up and especially the lingering trauma that he captures that brings a level of sadness to the performance that matches the themes in the plot. It's my top 5 scariest movies of all time, and Ananda's acting is a big reason for that. 2005, Jennifer Carpenter, Exorcism of Emily Rose. I'm going to talk about actors and actresses pushing themselves to the limits in this video, and Jennifer Carpenter apparently just wanted to barrel through those limits. It's a very physical performance. She does a good job replicating sleep paralysis. She saved producers money by actually contorting her own body rather than using a dummy. And of course, there's the infamous barn scene, where she is putting every piece of muscle and breath into that rage. If you act possessed in a film, you can't hold back. Like, you just can't. And the sheer amount of effort the actress put here is something special. Honestly, she carries that movie on her back.
With your spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
2006, Radha Mitchell, Silent Hill. I went back and forth on my live stream about whether to go with Mitchell or Mary Elizabeth Winstead from Final Destination 3. I went with Radha Mitchell because not only did the script require a bit more range from her, she also had to do a fair amount of acting next to, well, nothing. Green screen, CG monsters, that is really hard to act against. I mean, look at Hayden Christensen over here. Liar! When demonic children are clawing at her, it's frightening enough, but the flailing kind of panic from the actress elevates that fear. Even in slower scenes when she's exploring Silent Hill, her eyes show someone actively looking, wondering, and anticipating. I'm so glad they got a capable actress because I think it gives much needed legitimacy to the video game movie genre. You know, when you first watch Silent Hill, you think, hey, like, maybe these movies can be good. And over the next 15 years, Hollywood took that hope and it's gone. 2007, Brady Corbett, Funny Games. Anyone here could be in the top of 2007. Even the child actor is incredible. But I'm gonna go with one of the villains, and while Michael Pitt is given the role with a bit more pizzazz, Brady Corbett is doing something else. With the slightest changes of expression and line delivery, he's dropping little bits of menace into the plainest dialogue. The way he does this is almost surgical, yet he makes it look so easy. Watch him for 20 seconds in the movie, and the hairs will start standing at the back of your neck. 2008, Jack O'Connell, Eden Lake. This was a tough year to narrow down. The Ruins had some great acting, as did Martyrs. Jack O'Connell stood out because, as threatening and evil as the character is, both the actor and the script didn't forget to add some vulnerability there too. He commits horrific acts in the movie, and thank God Eden Lake didn't try to get me to empathize with him. But the way O'Connell acts made me wonder whether he grew up in an abusive home, even before the film told me. The quickness to his violence, the frustration he shows towards his friends, gives us a glimpse, not into a happy villain, but a severely damaged little boy who can't enjoy life unless he's picking wings off flies. And based on the beatdown scene alone, I think he's kind of terrifying. 2009, Isabel Fuhrman, The Orphan. Hey, I said the best acting in horror movies. If you want the best horror movies of each year, I've got a video for that too. Orphan is not a good movie. The plot is ridiculous, the foster parents are morons, and it isn't shot or scored with an ounce of imagination. But the diamond in this gray, room temperature porridge is Isabel Fuhrman as the mysterious orphan. For me, it's the lines she has where that darkness peeks through that are the most impressive, where all the childish glee just drains from her face, and you see a lifetime of death and cold. Usually when movies give children lines that are more suited for adults, it can sound pretty awkward. There's a reason why The Orphan gives this character more advanced dialogue, and thankfully the actress makes every line sound natural and naturally creepy. It's a 5 out of 10 movie with like a 9 out of 10 performance at the center.
Put it out of its misery. It's in pain, and it's your responsibility. It was just an accident. If you walk away now, it'll starve to death. Is that what you want?
2010, Natalie Portman, Black Swan. Portman is in every scene of the film. Almost nothing happens without her involvement, and so the actress has to convey a wide range of emotions: joy, anxiety, disappointment, terror, and on top of that, she has to escalate, had to work with the director on portraying someone slowly losing their sanity and gaining something fierce and lustful in its place. God damn, it's such an incredible performance, from the angelic opening to the heart-wrenching climax. It's so good. 2011, Neil Maskell, Kill List. Kill List is a seriously cool horror movie, as unpredictable as it is brutal. And Neil Maskell is perfect in it because he can show all these layers to a strange man. He shows us the monster underneath the normal family man, as his eyes go dead before beating a man to death. He shows us the normality under the monster, when his whole body will relax and light up as he chats with a friend after a murder. And it's hard to say which is more disturbing to watch. 2012, Natasha Calles, The Possession. Similar to The Orphan, Natasha Calles has to play a sweet little girl and a disturbed one. And also like The Orphan, she outacts everyone else in the film. After the character is possessed, the actress is able to make her so crazy and even intimidating without ever being silly or over the top. The peak has to be when she starts insulting her father, and then pretends that he smacked her. And her reaction is so shocking and raw, all you can think is, where the hell did they find this girl, and why is she stuck in this mediocre film?
I will say of Hashem, he is my refuge, my fortress, my God. I will trust in him, for he will deliver you from the ensnaring trap, from devastating pestilence.
2013, Scarlett Johansson, Under the Skin. A creature of some kind inhabits a woman's body and starts seducing men and leading them to their doom. Acting-wise, it doesn't sound like much, at least not on paper. And yet, here is Scarlett Johansson proving that any role can warrant discussion if it's meaty enough. It's a moody and sometimes terrifying experience, and partly what makes it scary is watching Johansson play the alien who's playing the human. Smiling and chatting in scenes that were partly improvised, she handles the scenes well, but what's eerie is how she immediately switches modes, and it's like she has an internal light switch. Over the course of the plot, her character discovers her own humanity, and Johansson captures this emotional journey with a softness of touch, a gentleness, and the effect is quite beautiful. 2014, Essie Davis, The Babadook. She plays a single mother of a child so believably aggravating that I'm surprised the movie wasn't financed by Plan B Entertainment. The plot makes the actress go through different emotional hoops, and she has to explore some really dark areas. Her portrayal of an exhausted mother is perfect. She's got the glazed over eyes, and her body seems to be constantly drooping as if weighed down. Why isn't this character some kind of meme or icon for mothers right now? 2015, Anton Yelchin, Green Room. The movie is wild, mostly serving as a showdown between a punk band and a Nazi gang controlled by Patrick Stewart. To be honest, neo-Nazis are so stupid, I think getting Professor X to control them is overkill. Anton Yelchin is good throughout the movie, and on the second watch, I liked his transition in the third act even more. The main reason he's here, and fans of Green Room know where I'm heading, is because of a scene where his arm is being cut. The actual violence is off screen, and yet it's probably the hardest scene to watch on any film on my list today because of the acting. His desperate cries, how rapid and high-pitched his voice gets, doesn't just show you but hits you with how much fucking agony the character is in. It is 100% performance-based. R.I.P. Anton, 2015 belongs to you. 2016, James McAvoy, Split. 2016 was tough, man, and it broke my heart not giving it to Kim Soo-won, who turned in an incredible, heartbreaking performance in Train to Busan. Split is basically an acting showcase for James McAvoy. Playing multiple personalities in a movie directed by M. Night, Sorry About the Last Airbender Shyamalan could have been a disaster. Instead, it was McAvoy at possibly his best. What's there to even say? He plays a child with a lisp, a soft-spoken matriarch, a gruff authoritarian with OCD, an effeminate fashion designer, and a bar-bending monstrosity, and gives them all unique voices and movements. McAvoy stated that the most challenging was playing one who is pretending to be another, and watching them glide from character to character is such a fun watch.
Okay.
This guy is coming for you.
You're a big fibber.
2017, Daniel Kaluuya, Get Out. 2017 was the toughest for my live chat and I to decide upon. While I almost went with Skarsgård, I also think some of the CGI actually slows him down. Daniel Kaluuya does great work throughout Get Out, and one particular scene clinched it. His performance while being hypnotized, how he becomes increasingly distraught and then fearful, is amazing. He is the last one on this list to be nominated for an Oscar. Oh boy, we got some snubs coming up that are gonna reopen some wounds. 2018, Toni Collette, Hereditary. You all already know this was an insanely good performance at every level. I wanted to mention that Toni Collette said that she's specifically drawn to stories of grief.
I do gravitate towards these stories about loss because it's the most confronting part of life. We're here and then we're gone, and the people we love are here and then they're gone.
It's fitting that she's interested in such roles because I absolutely love how she tackles the theme of grief in Hereditary. I'm not a mom, obviously, but I have one, and I know that she would act similar to this character, in the first act, don't worry, if she lost a young child. The grief of a loving mother losing her child is not softly crying while staring out the window. It is a titanic, violent expulsion of despair. It is destruction and anguish beyond reconciling. Toni Collette showed us that. But, I guess the Academy wanted to hang out Lady Gaga. I don't know. 2019, Willem Dafoe, The Lighthouse. Florence Pugh was close with her heart-wrenching display of trauma in Midsommar, but Willem Dafoe demolished this role in The Lighthouse. I can't imagine anyone better cast for this role of the surly 19th century sailor. As with other movies by Robert Eggers, the dialogue is period appropriate, and Dafoe has to deliver long speeches of archaic dialogue and make them passionate. He gives one speech without blinking, and another while being covered with fucking dirt. Willem Dafoe got buried for this performance. 2020, Rebecca Hall, The Night House. Hall is such an underrated actress, it hurts. Her roles in Resurrection and Christine were both great, and she seems to have a knack for playing women on the verge of collapse. Where Hereditary captured the furious grief of losing a kid, Night House showcases the loneliness and brittleness of losing a spouse. Rebecca Hall's basically flawless in this. We can see her slowly break down in multiple scenes and in multiple ways. And when her character can possibly communicate with her dead husband, the actress hits the right beat, a mix of euphoria and mania. She could not have done this any better. 2021, Ethan Hawke, Black Phone. I'd never seen Ethan Hawke play a villain before, but holy hell was he creepy in this one. Plot aside, cosplay aside, he is terrifying with every emotion he chooses. Crying when he tells his captured victim he wants to look at him, giggling when he first captures him, bellowing like an animal when he attacks him. I know the ick is a trend with high-maintenance girls right now, but it's also the right word for Hawke's performance. He makes you feel icky in all the best ways.
You did a number on my arm. But I'm not gonna hold it against you. I guess. Now we're even.
2022, Mia Goth, Pearl. If you want to see an actress go all out, then Pearl is for you. Every time Goth screams at someone, it's not a normal scream, but a howl of someone whose sanity is like a wind-up toy. Her speech in the climax, which may as well be an Oscar reel, didn't just require a lot of emotion on Goth's part, but physicality. She had to struggle past the audible mucus and tightness in her throat. Taking a character from a sweet disposition to one of such hatred isn't really a new thing in cinema, but I haven't seen it done so violently by an actress before. And fuck Marvel stingers, Pearl is the best reason to stay for the credits. 2023, Alyssa Sutherland, Evil Dead Rise. Almost there, folks. Exciting. I have mixed feelings about this movie. The cinematography is surprisingly good, but the tone is kind of all over the place. The opening title is great, but the opening scene failed harder than Jimmy Kimmel trying to tell an actual joke. Some of the supporting acting isn't great, but my god was Alyssa Sutherland fantastic. When the possession takes place, Christ alive, I mean, yeah, the makeup is horrific, but it's what she does with it. Makeup is the gas for the car, and Sutherland is driving it in some freakish places. It's all engineered to bring as much fear as humanly possible. The actress is clearly having a blast utilizing the makeup to such an effect.
And all I could think about was how much I wanted to cut you all open and climb inside your body so that we could stay one happy family.
And last up, 2024. Now, granted, 2024 is not over, but I wanted to give a shout out for this year as well. So nothing in Exuma really jumped out at me, and Hell House Carmichael Manor has a main character so relentlessly obnoxious I wanted the evil clowns to win, but Nell Tiger Free in the first Omen deserves recognition for a powerful performance in an equally powerful film. The movie gives her so much to do, and I feel like it's the kind of role that actresses want. She's a pious nun-to-be, then she's a bit of a deviant for one night, then a frantic rescuer, then a manic victim, shown in a buck-wild scene that feels very inspired by 1981's Possession. This is what I mean when I say a performance is fearless. Not holding back, not worrying if it makes you look too weird, and diving into the physical demands head first. There's so much to talk about with this movie, so I'll summarize and say that Nell Tiger Free made the protagonist earn our sympathy without ever playing it safe, and in doing so, at least for me, earned a lot of respect. This was exhausting but really fun, so let me know in the comments if you'd like to see another topic in this format. Say hi on Discord or Letterboxd, links to that are below, and also check out this video where I discuss the first Omen and some other good horror movies. You guys are awesome, and as always, thanks for watching.